Mando just came out today. We got the finale of The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 8. It's called Chapter 24, The Return. So I wanted to get out a quick review. And then when Christine and I sit down together, we're going to go ahead and review. We'll probably do a spoiler review then. And for now, I'm just going to do a spoiler free review for the finale for this season. This season has been it seemed kind of aimless and not really having much direction. However, watching this now, it's kind of all come together, and so I get what they were going for. They should have maybe introduced that at the beginning of this season or at the end of the previous season. Hey, kitty, there's Fluffy Kitty there. And they could have just let us know this is what they're building up to. It's like, we're going to build up to this, but before we get there, we got to take care of a few things first, right? And yeah, I think that probably would have been a better way. I did enjoy this season how they have the non well, yeah, there's non-linear storytelling because sometimes they don't always just do the main story. They have a main story, but then sometimes they'll do half of that for an episode and half of a side story. And sometimes it's a flashback, and sometimes it's just another story that's happening with other characters that we haven't seen for a while. So we're catching up with them now. And none of that bothered me. I actually enjoyed all of that stuff. Some of the episodes this season weren't exactly the greatest, but I still had a good time. There were still interesting things to see in them. I really did enjoy those side stories, and there was that flashback that everyone talks about going back to the fall of the Jedi Temple in Order 66. That was great, and get to see a lot more of Mandalorians. I mean, it's in all the trailers and that, which they've been in the last few episodes. Everything they've been doing more with Grogu. I found as they get towards the end of the season because they didn't do much with that character at the beginning. Not sure why. It was just kind of all Din Djarin and Grogu would just kind of show up and be in the background. You know, I've read some people online have been enjoying it. I'm gonna look up what is on Rotten Tomatoes. The whole series is rated as 91% critic rating, 77% audience score. So I guess audiences are not enjoying it as much. That's interesting. This season 3 has the lowest 87%, but season 1 had 93%, and so did season 2 actually. Wow, that's interesting. And we get to see lots more of Katie Sackhoff, who's been in all this season, playing Bo-Katan. They're kind of just bringing back all the characters, and they're really delving more into some of the Star Wars lore, I've found, because I'm not going to spoil it, but they're getting into things that are from a lot of the books, and sometimes from the comics, but mostly from the books. They're taking stuff from the expanded universe, which is now called Legends. And they're also taking stuff from new books that are part of canon. I just got one right here. Star Wars Dooku Jedi Lost. This is delve into the history of sinister Count Dooku in the original script to the thrilling Star Wars audio production. Yeah. So this one's a script, so it's almost written as like a play. It's interesting. I'm going to review that later on. Overall, I'm still really enjoying this. I don't know if I enjoyed this season more than the previous ones because it's been a while. When did we get season 1? It was back in 2019, something like that. And with the pandemic, I can't remember back then. So I might sometimes go back and watch all 3 seasons again and then kind of rank them myself. Maybe before we get season 4 because what's his name? Not Dave Filoni, but the other showrunner, Jon Favreau. Who's also in the Iron Man movies, and he's been in lots of stuff. Plays Happy Hogan in the MCU. He's one of the main showrunners on this, and he's already talked in the media about how they already have season 4 mapped out, and maybe they'll do season 4, and then they'll do this movie that they announced at Star Wars Celebration. If it happens, I don't know. Good kitty there. Okay, her sister's here as well, Penny, but she's just being shy as usual. Hopefully that doesn't cause a problem. Overall, I really enjoyed this season. I really enjoyed this episode, even if some of the episodes weren't the greatest. However, that's just my thoughts on it. We're going to spoil it when Christine is back here with us. What are your thoughts on The Mandalorian? Do you enjoy it? Did you like this season? Did you not? If you're someone who previously watched this show, I definitely want to hear from you. Because if you were watching this before, but you didn't come back for season 3, did you drop off? When? First, second season, this season? And why did you drop off? I think a lot of people just aren't watching it because a lot of people have canceled their Disney Plus. Oh, there's Penny. However, love to hear from you. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this segment, you can go ahead and give us the thumbs up. And go ahead and subscribe for more content.